Good morning, everyone. KJ here. It's Friday. Weekend is upon us. I ain't got shit planned, but it's going to be a great weekend nonetheless. So, yesterday we got a little bummed out, but in some ways it was a great thing that we all got together. Good morning, Grammy B and Nancy Bergbauer and Olive Heatley and Dog Mom and Donna Donald. You know, we got to all spend some time together. We got to go to Cresha's and spend time with her and Donna and others on the chat. Got to find the good things to come out of things. You know, here, I guess it was sometime last week, I realized that I've been saying a lot here lately. We got to find something good out of this. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I realized I'd been saying that a lot, I'm like, why? Why do we have to find something good about anything? Of course, then y'all know that it has to do with the love in my heart and a better quality of life in order to see the goodness in this world, because if we see all this negativity shit all the time, it's just going to bring old KJ down. I don't know about y'all. Good morning, Chris Arnett and Sam Willa and Dee Dee. Just me. So, yeah. For somehow, some way, I ain't the only one. There's some other people out here in YouTube world that we need to find something good to come out of things. Nancy Bergbauer says, don't know how I missed yesterday, but you didn't. You did a great job with Crash. Donna Donald, thank you, Nancy. Donna Donald says, you're right, balance is hard on this. Just Me says, we will become downtrodden. Right. So what if old KJ came on here every damn day? I mean, for a long time, y'all, we were talking about this case as it was going through. Wasn't much positivity about it at all, was it? I mean, yeah, old KJ mocked and made fun of the damn hussy and Chinster there and the rest of the motley crew. But, and I did my best to get us smiling. But Zero says there are no silver linings. Kelly Cantrell says, good morning from Desert Hills, Arizona. Ann Gibson says, yesterday was disappointing. I have to see the positive as much as I can. Otherwise, I feel ill. Well, there you go. And also, Ann Gibson has shared with OKJ that Samantha Gwilliam, that's the way I took it, Ann Gibson, Samantha Gwilliam's going to be doing a victim impact statement as well. Thank you for letting me know that, Ann Gibson. Yeah. Oh, Sam Willow, the wigs. You haven't seen the last of the wigs, Sam Willow. Good morning, Mark McGarry, Mr. M. How are you? I don't know, just getting back to it and everything is really, nothing good about what happened in this case. In terms of the crime, I mean, any crime, you can't see any positivity in any crime. Even if it's the crime of stealing a candy bar in a store. I mean, what's the positiveness in that? Well, yeah, you're right, Mark McGarry. The times, they are just different now. It seems like we have to try harder in order to keep a good grip on reality, on where things really are, instead of getting, I call it, mowed over by so much bullshit and so much lies and so much crap. I'm not usually one of these types of people that just go scrolling through YouTube. I just don't do it. But sometimes when I go on I click on the thing and YouTube pops up, obviously there are all kinds of videos that I'm sure are recommended to me for whatever reason. And this guy who has absolutely nothing to do with true crime or following cases or anything, and I forgot who he was, so I'm not here to plug him. He was talking about Zav Girl. Now, I'm not going off on Zav Girl again. I'm talking about, he had his little commentary about people that follow cases and research cases and analyze cases as they're going on. He says, well, I can understand if it was Jack the Ripper, or some back in history or something. But these people follow these cases as they're going along. And I just think that is sick and that's terrible and all that. And I'm thinking, why? Why? I mean, yeah, what Zav Girl did was wrong with the coroner's picks. And maybe because she did what she did, he's decided he's going to take a totally negative, terrible situation like that and put a blanket over the whole true crime community. I don't know. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Rhonda, Ireland, Queeros. Is that who it is, Ann Gibson? Man, you must really watch all the stuff. The scientific skeptic because he's really clever. I don't know who it was. I can't confirm it. Good morning, Kathy Mama Bear. So I'm sure, I'm positive that we have all watched some terrible stuff being in the true crime community. So I'm not here to beat myself over the head or anyone else. What I'm trying to say is there's got to be a reason, because I hate to say it, but I got to say it, to find something good out of it. I don't know why that keeps habitually going over and over in my mind, that I've got to find something good about these things. Good morning, Kate Sullivan Studios. Just me, Arona Z, Beach Lady, Kathy. All of y'all are saying hello and good morning to one another. And that's, hey, just think about it like this. What if we'd have never met one another? Y'all probably be a hell of a lot better off. No, I wouldn't have been better off. I really enjoy y'all's company. Yes, Teresa, I did see that. Thank you for asking, though. Ann Gibson said that Samantha Gwilliam also. Am I right about that, Ann Gibson? Because I know you left the comment that that Tammy's sister was also given a statement. So I just took it to be Samantha Gwilliam. Well, Mr. M, my rock carving, it is absolutely got truth written on it. I'm probably going to have to update it, though. I'm looking at it as we speak. I'm probably going to have to deepen it because being over there in the side yard under all those trees. Teresa says, yes, Samantha will give statement 2. So let's just look at it. Y'all know how I feel when it comes to people making money off this case. And just because I'm not, doesn't make me a better person. I said that, yesterday or the day before, whatever. It's got nothing to do with this self-righteous stuff or anything like that. Maybe, y'all, I'm not taking up for it, but we have to look at all sides of things. Maybe that is some of the good that comes out of it. As long as these people respect and honor the victim's family members, maybe that's the only good that can come out of a murder. I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm trying to figure out ways to, because y'all, right is right and wrong is wrong is such a narrow place to be. But one's got to ask the question, is there a gray area? Yes, 0. On the positive side, we can look forward to 7/31, the day of the sentencing. Just Me says bringing awareness to the victims and supporting the families is important. Yes, Nancy Bergbauer, I got a chance to move it off of the decking. I've moved it over closer to the woods here. They are all gone, so I moved it because I had to put this plastic trash bag on the decking below it because there was a bunch of bird poop, and I thought I got stuck. I had to wait for the birds to leave in order to move it. So yes. Molly's mom says, I think her brother and uncle said anything that they make from their podcast, they're donating to a cause. Highly loved. Well, isn't that special? Molly's mom. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't believe it. I won't believe it. I'm not going to believe it. I just don't. You don't create a 501c and all that, do all that they're doing, make them a studio and all that stuff to donate all their money. Y'all, let's just get some common sense about us. Maybe they'll give some of it. I ain't giving all of it. I don't suppose Adam's going to be having any water drinking contest on their podcast this time around. Nancy says, name the charity, dudes. It's always about the money, says Big Stack. Well, the good news is, Big Stack, there is nothing having to do with any money here, even if KJ doesn't make sense. Even if KJ puts her foot in her mouth, even if KJ's wrong. I can be wrong. I can admit I'm wrong. Tony Bennett died. He was 96, says Sheila Force. Now, Tony Bennett, wasn't he like a singer? Right? I'm sure if some of his hits, I could hear them. They're probably historical and classic hits. Hello, awesome sassy sauce. Shared the stage with the Rat Pack, says Mark McGarry. Now, I've heard of those terms, y'all. Just an old country girl. I know Tony Bennett was very famous. I know he did those, types of ballads Somebody give me one of the songs that's real mainstream, and I'll see if I know it. I left my heart in San Francisco. I don't know if I've heard that song or not. I'm sure this Tony Bennett probably did Christmas music because Molly's mom wants to decorate for Christmas now. Hey, whatever floats your boat, go for it. I know people that's got Christmas trees in every room in their house year round. So far, only Charles's sons actually have followed through with a charitable foundation. They started a scholarship partnering with a school for special needs children. Well, I know the Tammy Douglas Daybell Foundation getting books into the hands of children. I don't have proof of that, but that's what they're all about. I don't see them coming out public like that without doing something for the children in terms of books. I don't see it being a complete and total sham. I don't believe that. Good morning, cats and dogs. Fly me to the moon. Oh, what? I don't know if I've heard that one, I think. Fly me to the moon, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. When I get off here, y'all got me going. I know how famous Tony Bennett is, the name, recognition, and everything. I just don't know his songs. I watched the interview with Tammy's aunt yesterday. Had no idea she knew Tylee and JJ and Charles, says KKB. Chad's kids did not go to their grandma's funeral. Well, Vix Tex, wonder what that's all about. Do you think that's an order from the Chadster there as he sits in jail, Mr. I can see beyond the veil shit? Yeah, y'all are giving me these song titles of Tony Bennett, and I can't formulate the melody or the song or anything, but I think Fly Me to the Moon. I think the last time I heard that, it was on some commercial. Sorry, y'all. Also, I know a lot of Elvis songs, but I don't get into Elvis big time. There are just a lot of, not that I have anything against it. I think all music's beautiful, all genres and all that. It's just, and I guess if I heard some of Tony Bennett's stuff, I probably would know it. But in terms of saying, oh, I love Tony Bennett, I'm going to sing you a song from Tony Bennett to honor him. I wish I could, but I don't know the words. The cancel to Chad's hearing as to Lori's trial transcript was curious, as prosecution has no objection, as Pryor and Chad wanted to dig for defense elements. What's interesting, I don't know if that's, Mr. M, I don't know if that's at the cost of the state. It's one thing because they asked the judge, the state did, for a copy of the transcript, and he ordered it for them. I guess John Pryor, all he'd have to do is pay for the copying of one? I don't know. I still believe that Chad Daybell's going to be deemed indigent at some point. There's no way that John Pryor has the revenue stream to get his client through a death penalty trial. Okay, it's just, I mean, unless you're pulling money out the butt there. Unless John Pryor's having some big yard sale. I don't know. I mean, unless there's some private investor there who is willing to invest money to owe John Pryor because John Pryor's going to write a book after this is all done. I don't know. Yes, cats or dogs. John Pryor does already own Chad Daybell's house. I don't know, how all that's going to work out. I guess he could mortgage it to the hilt and get more money, or he could just sell it flat out. I don't know. KKB, the last couple of days we have gotten so much rain here in Tennessee that yesterday our electricity went off again from about 1:30 in the afternoon till about 5:30 at night. Out here in the county, every time the damn wind blows, it seems like our electricity goes out. I told Wayne, I said, I know we got that big industrial, what is that? The industrial thing that you plug up and it turns everything on. Generator, that's it. Y'all, I'm just waking up. Anyway, but by the time we haul that thing back from behind the house up through the garage and everything, and go through all that to hook it up, they get the electricity back on. Donna Donald says electric and internet in Memphis is a mess. I had to work from home for 2 days. Ann Gibson says it's the jet stream in Europe. And Molly's mom is saying there's a lot of rain in Central Florida right now. Nancy Bergbauer is saying burn bans in Texas. Glad we got to do fireworks on the 4th, which is a great way, Nancy, for me to tell y'all. Remember? I had to come to y'all and say, y'all, I'm sorry. We couldn't do 4th of July fireworks because we were in a state park and they wouldn't let us. I still got those. And I told you all that I was going to shoot them all off when I got home. And I was going to let all the race see it. If they wanted to. They were interested. But now, it seems the plan is complete. That it dovetails into my burning of the Lolo's effigy. So not only am I going to be burning an effigy of the hussy, there are going to be fireworks in it. Isn't that neat? I'm going to do it. I mean, how many people can say they've done that? I'm going to do it. I don't give a damn how crazy it sounds. Can you update what happened with Chad's court appearance was canceled? Well, Awesome Sassy Sauce, the bottom line is exactly what I said it was. I don't know why it was canceled so near it yesterday morning. As soon as the state had no objection to Chad getting the transcript, and they had put that in the documentation, then we should have found out the day before. Because I told y'all if the state don't object, and the defense wants the transcript, the judge is just going to order it. And why does anybody need a hearing for that? It's nothing nefarious. My only view about it is John Pryor was like, oh, the state yesterday, because I'm just now looking at it now, says John Pryor, and that's just me thinking. The state has said they don't object to the transcript. Good. I don't have to go to a Zoom call. We don't have to do a Zoom call or whatever. So it was nothing nefarious. It was nothing, yes, we hypothesized maybe John Pryor was going to bitch and whine about something else. And yeah, it's always good to see where that asshole's coming from. But they just wanted a copy of the transcript, and as I told y'all yesterday, uh, he's got a lot of work on his hands, circling all the times his client Chad there is guilty as hell. And what's he gonna do about it? Because he ain't gonna do much, I guarantee you that. Julie Thompson, do y'all think I'm gonna give up the whole thing on what I'm doing? I already gave y'all a hint. 7 foot tall, okay? Some effigies are 2 stories high. Well, KJ ain't gonna go there. That takes too much time, too much effort. Makes too much of a burn spot in the yard. So that's the only hint y'all are getting. Come on, don't you? Some of y'all don't like surprises. I get it. But OKJ's gotta keep a little to myself. It's gonna be interesting, trust me. Good morning, Elba Lopez. Okay, I'll give y'all one more clue. Because y'all been so good to me. Y'all been there for me. I'm gonna tell y'all. First of all, 7 foot. Next clue. Let's just say Hawaii. Okay? It's up to you to figure out what you think that means. So the first clue is 7 foot. The next clue is Hawaii. Y'all are gonna shit yourself when you see this. Oh my gosh. Cats or dogs were burning an effigy of the hussy. Late in the evening after the sentencing on July the 31st, I'm burning an effigy of the hussy. It's got to be dark, so, you know, it's going to be laid out. We got to see what we're doing. We got to see what we're burning. Olive Heatley, no, this one's all strictly for the hussy. We got time for old chatty boy, Mr. Gherkin Pickle there. It's just her burning an effigy, letting the smoke and the nastiness. I mean, for God's sake, y'all. Lolo was being transported from Madison County to the hearing site there in Boise. And they had to stop at a freaking gas station to let her go take a whiz, you know, her being a translated being. Hell, I don't know. She might have went in there to squeeze one off. I don't know. But the lady said in the news that worked there, her and another co-worker in there burned sage because they felt like she was so evil. So, I'm not going to be burning sage. I'm going to be burning an effigy of the hussy. I'm going to wait about a week. It's almost here, y'all. It's what, 9 or 10 days left. So in about a week's time, I'll put the announcement thumbnail thing up, you know, the countdown thing. I'll put it on our homepage. So you'll know when it's going to happen. Could you believe that? Cats and dogs, could y'all imagine if all the Rays joined me in the front yard? I mean, God, it almost sounds kind of creepy, really. But it's not, because I know where my heart is on all this. It's a way to release. A different educational way to release. It's nothing pagan or anything like that. In my view, it all depends on why you're doing something. You know? Wow, my son-in-law makes big forms out of chicken wire to form. Make it easy for fuses. Glue paper on the outside, those precious features, and paint her up. Easy peasy. Wow. Julie Thompson, your brother's very artistic and productive. It is CHP. My yard is big enough for a lot of people. Trust me, we've had fish fries. We've had me pull these, I call them DJ nights out of nowhere. Just to let loose. Oh, trust me, y'all. You're going to know who it is. It's not just going to, some people think, well, an effigy, it could be just a straw like a scarecrow, and then you could just let everybody know that that's who it is. No, you're going to know. You're going to know who this is. It's going to be quite easily seen there. Wow, Julie Thompson has a Bengal tiger full size in the living room. Wow. I don't sound so, I don't know, imaginative now that other people's got neat stuff. Yeah, that's what I meant, cats or dog. We will all recognize who it is. Please believe me, this is what, my first cup of coffee here, and y'all, I don't know why I don't wait until I'm fully alert to come to y'all, but some of the best things that I could say come right out. The wig on top, just me, I don't know. Y'all trying to get more clues here, I think. Donna Donald says, my son made a 6-foot suit of armor with paper mache. It would scare me in the dark. Right, Mr. M. Ignite. I've definitely got some prizes on that end of things, Mr. M. The ignition, the lighting of whatever you want to call it, whether it's the fuse, whatever it is, y'all. It's going to be fun. Come on, just all of us getting together, seeing something we've never seen before. I ain't never done this shit before, but I'm going to do it. Kay and Larry are going on Rex and Adam's podcast, someone said. Okay. So, Adam and Rex will have at least one episode of their podcast series that isn't a crock of shit. Because I believe what Larry and Kay say are the right things. Do I want to look at this further and say, well, Kay and Larry, along with Nate Eaton and Pretty Lies and Alibis and other people, have given Adam and Rex, some plug in there by having them on and all that? Hey, my view ain't going to change. I don't trust that family for nothing. Not at all. And I'm not changing my mind for nothing or nobody. Unless God Almighty tells me something otherwise. And I don't think God's going to spend the time to tell me something that He's given me enough common sense to know that I can figure out myself. I don't need God to tell me nothing when it comes to that, because He's given me my own self-will in terms of how I see things. Should I go to God in prayer and say, God, this is how I feel about Adam and Rex, and maybe I'm wrong or whatever. I've done it. It's just me, though. I've left it at this. People can do whatever the hell they want to do. They don't need permission from me. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. Anybody can watch anything they want to watch. The only thing I say is whatever's coming out of their mouth, is there really silver linings in that? Awesome Sassy Sauce. I have not watched one single bit of it, but I've seen the faces on it as I scroll through, and it's creepy. It's creepy to me. I mean, you can't put the sins of their family member on them. Please don't get me wrong. It's just, I know in my heart of hearts, these people in this family, they have no good intentions in my view. Even if they're saying all these things, something's behind it. It can't just be money. If Kay and Larry feel they're trustworthy enough to go on their show, I listen to what they have to say because they're really not divulging anything majorly new except family stuff. Okay, so people are going to go on there to, you say they're not divulging anything new, so they're just talking about family stuff. Okay, whatever floats your boat. If that's what, they're not divulging anything new. They're talking about family stuff. Obviously, y'all know that if Larry and Kay are out here, I want to hear what they have to say. And I will find out. But OKJ's not going to be watching any of these podcasts. I'm just not. Yeah, well, Kresha, that's something that I don't feel comfortable in terms of, because that's y'all's family dynamic. And the reason I say that is your view might change on that over time, and then hear OKJ's saying, yeah, Kresha, or whatever, and then you remember that. But when it comes to families and their dynamics, I steer clear of that because our views, out of my own experience, I've been mad or upset or disappointed or whatever with family members, and I've said stuff to other people, and they were like, yeah, they are this and this and this. And then later on, we make up because I love my family, and then I got to remember this person over here, I've done given them the narrative of this other stuff, and this is just what I do. But I'm just going to make it clear that I'm not trying to browbeat anyone who wants to go see Rex and Adam's podcast. I've done said, I'm not here to sound the warning. I'm saying in my life and in my personal situation, in my view, I don't get good vibes from it. I don't at all. If there was just a tiny bit of something there that I could grasp onto to say, maybe KJ, just give it, everybody deserves a chance and all this stuff. Folks, I see a stop sign. I see a no way. So, that's just the way it is with me. You just get that feeling when you take it to totality, the whole history of the situation, folks, I don't want to go down this road again about Rex and Adam. I'm just saying that all you have to do is really, if you can answer those questions, where were they back then? Where were they when the kids were missing? what were they doing and all that. If you could answer that, or if they could answer it and you're watching their shit and they give you a plausible, you feel like it's a truthful answer and it's not an apology tour and it's not a bunch of bullshit excuses, then more power to you. That's the way I look at it. If I thought for 1 second that I could get some justice through understanding and what they's coming out of their mouth, you know it, y'all. I'd be right there listening to it. Someone says in here, they don't really talk about anything new. They only talk about family stuff. Well, hey, some people want to hear, that. More power to them. Cresha, you are greatly loved and supported and prayed for daily, says Julie Thompson. I think I got enough of just, dodging bullets, points it out. John Glatt, Leah Sottle, they've talked about this background of this family. I don't think for 1 second these accomplished authors skewed anything. I don't choose. I mean, my mother always said it. You mess with shit, you get it all over you. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to have people in my life around me, or I'm exposed to people that think they're better than everyone else. And they do. I mean, it just comes out of their pores. The way they act, the way they talk. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering, says Yoda. Well, may the force be with you. It's just Robbie. I'm not afraid of Adam or Rex there. Make no mistake. There's no fear in my... it's just... You really want to know the truth, y'all. I just get this feeling of disgust. That's really what it is. Because if you sat down and you said, well, KJ feels the way KJ feels, why? Why does KJ feel the way she does? Has she explained herself? And even if I don't understand why KJ feels the way she feels, don't she have a right to feel the way she feels? Hello, spread love, not hate. Yes, Elba Lopez. That whole thing that Nate Eden and East Idaho News released over that phone call, as I've said yesterday, that was out over a year ago. But if you're hearing it for the first time, I understand. Dodging bullets, I think you understand why that we're hearing from them now. Right, Olive. Not one word. A valuable warning in the negative emotions and how they can lead one down a dark path. Right. Well, just as, let's see, I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday as we were waiting for the hearing to happen and didn't. It was a great conversation, and I just appreciate your time and point of view. Well, Krisha, uh, the idea of even going on your channel is a big deal to me because I feel like you're allowing me to basically go get into a conversation with you, um, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy being there. I enjoy the people on there. I enjoy what you've got to say. I think you've got a lot of truth in what you say. I'm there for that. I will always be supportive. I've shown time and time again how supportive that I've been, will continue to be. It's just Robbie says, difficult research. You are an excellent streamer. I mean, my gosh, y'all. Y'all remember when Krisha was just getting started? Now she's got all this. I mean, it's full blown. It's great. Awesome. Well, Teresa, I'm glad you're here. I am everyone's friend, except for the people that I just don't, if anybody's expecting me to be friends with Adam and Rex or have a friendly view of it, you've come to the wrong place. Am I right? Does it have anything to do with it? It has to do with a person's perspective. Just as somebody had told me, is what Rex and Adam are, what they're doing, is it relevant? That's up to the eye of the beholder. I'm not, Vicky McNutt, I get it. And I've said it. And I will continue to say it. If anybody's to ask. Actions speak louder than words. Actions really do speak louder than words. Hello, Mary Claiborne. Listen, y'all. The bottom line on it is this. It didn't have to take Annie Cushing proving to everybody that Adam Cox lied on one of the podcasts. Okay, it didn't have to take that. That kind of just, oh yeah, there you go. I mean, I already felt this way. Now we've got empirical factual evidence. Just goes right along with what I'm thinking, Precious says everyone's feelings should be relevant, right? And I agree with that. To whoever who wants to listen to that, whatever it is. Is it hard to figure out the motivation of somebody by the way they act and talk? I don't know about y'all. Maybe I'm just one of these paranoid people out here. I have a hard time trusting anybody. And the bottom line is that's what I start to think about. What is the motive here? What is the motivation here? Because there might be a lot of motivations to do something. There's always one core reason, one core motivation. Well, just me, what did you expect? Selective memory. Being called out factually for lying. Hey, you're known by your fruits. You're known by it. No, 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 no. It's just Robbie. Here's the situation. Just because I feel the way I do, I could be wrong. I could be. But I feel secure in what I feel. And I am not telling anybody on here not to go and listen. Because there are several Rays on here that listen to it. And they have a right to that. And that doesn't reflect badly on anybody. I'm just sharing myself, demonstrating myself. So please, it's just Robbie. Just do what you feel is right. You don't need someone else to tell you what to do. You know this. You know it. Teresa, all you have to do is go on this channel's community wall and scroll down to a post of Annie Cushing where she calls it out. Talks about how Adam said the police didn't contact him or he didn't contact the police or something to that effect. And it's in the freaking reports. So he's trying to give a reason why, after all this went down, why didn't he immediately go and talk about the situation with the police? Well, he's trying to jump the lily pad there and leave out the lily pad. Does that make sense? Zero says it's okay to be a coward if you can admit it. Well, I know I've been a coward in my past. I'm human just like anybody else. Donna Donald says lying by omission. Y'all ever heard of that before? Lying by omission? Y'all think anybody in that family has lied by omission? Give me a break. I understand where you stand on that, Kresha. I understand, and that's unfortunate. I will say this. When somebody is able to prove empirically a point, a fact, I'm right there. I'm going to be supportive of that specific thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't subscribe to that channel. I don't do any of that, but it just ran through there and I saw it. I thought about it, analyzed it, looked at it, went through some records and realized she was being honest, and she busted his ass. We've talked about this. Remember a few videos back I said, if somebody wants to hold on to a lie, if it's some stupid ass reason that somebody lies over something stupid, okay, and they want to hold on to that lie, I ain't got use of them. I don't want nothing to do with them. But if they lie over something stupid and they're able to come back and say, the reason I did that was because I just didn't want the drama, or I felt like you'd react to it and I just didn't want to have to deal with it. It doesn't even matter what the reason they lied about. As long as they're able to come to me and say, yes, I did. Well, I respect that. Because guess what, y'all? KJ has lied many times in my life, and all of you at some point have lied. The bottom line is it's not about what you lie about. It's not about lying by omission. It's about being able to be conscientious and come out and say, you know what? I might have kind of sugarcoated this a little bit more than I should have, or something to that effect. I mean, nobody likes to be lied to, even over the stupid shit. But I'm going to tell you what, it's very rare that somebody will lie over something stupid and will not lie over everything else if they're going to do that. If they can get away with it, you're going to say to yourself, I know they're lying to me. I know for a fact they're lying to me. But what the content of their lie is so damn stupid, I'm going to let it go because I value the friendship more than what they lied about. That's all good, but what is that teaching them? She ain't going to dang say anything, or she's just letting it go. She's not calling me out, so I can continue to do this. It ain't going to work in my life. It ain't going to work for me. Right, Kresha. But isn't that how humans usually are? They get some information, and just as you were saying yesterday, it bothers you when people want to talk more about these damn evil, diabolical perpetrators than they do about victims' family members. That right there hit me, and I realized that's about as true as it gets. Hey, I can't figure it all out. I can't figure out everything there is to know about human nature because, number one, I truly believe, y'all, that we are all originals. There's never going to be another one like you in the past, present, or future, ever again. Even if you had a twin, there's still going to be differences. And even if you did have a twin and it was identical, you still think the way you do. You're your own person. You think and you see what you see. Goes back to what I said when I first opened this channel. If all the Rays on here and OKJ was standing on the side of the road, we were all standing there together, and we all looked at the very same time in the direction of this dog running across the road. Some of us, the immediate thing would be, oh, it's a German Shepherd. Some of us immediately would say, that dog's going to get hit by a car. Someone else might say, oh, that dog don't have a collar. Or the first thing they think is, where the hell is the owner? Everybody's going to see the same thing and think differently. It's fact. There are some that will see the same thing to a degree, at least the bulk of the nouns in it, if that makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is I guess if I'm demonstrating anything about it, it isn't really about what this other channel or these other channels do as it relates, or even this channel has to do with this case. It has to do with what are you getting out of this? What are you learning? And in my view, I say justice through understanding because that is a general term where everybody can look at it and say, well, my definition of this is this. And, it's never been about me being right. No, you better listen, OKJ. I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, let me tell you what, that's my bad feeling. Someone else might have a great feeling. Somebody else might go to these other channels and get a warm, fuzzy feeling. Are they wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? Are they right? It's not about right and wrong. It's about demonstrating that we are able to some degree, be able to speak what it is that we think we see in our perspective. Like someone said, everyone has a perspective on whether or not something is relevant or not. I have my reasons. And y'all, the Rays on here have heard them. I don't have to beat a dead horse about it. Teresa says that's why some eyewitness testimony may be off, see things differently. Great example, Teresa. Great example. Some people say, how could that person not have seen that person do that? Or, the times that it's been proven that a gun went off on the other end of a house, but this person sleeping didn't hear it. Or things of that sort. Yes, we can put a little common sense into the situation, but it really is what common sense that we know. What if someone on here has better common sense than old KJ? What if someone on here has better logic than KJ? What if, the truth? Therein lies this whole thing, that even when someone is faced with the truth, they might see the truth as something totally different. And, in some ways that's unfortunate, but in some ways that is protective of what? Our own identity, our own perspective, what we see. It is fascinating, Kresha. I don't think it should be about, like, if you have a bunch of people, say you're all in a room, and they came in and they showed you a painting of something, anything, and you were just so positive that that's a picture of a chili dog. There's no doubt in your mind that is a picture of a chili dog. We're not talking about abstract art here, y'all. We're talking about someone's painting. And you think that's a chili dog, and 4 or 5 other people in the room said, yep, that's a chili dog. Well, what if someone else sees something different? What if someone else says, that's not a chili dog, that is a hot dog bun with some relish, no hot dog in it, there's a little bit of tad of mustard, maybe ketchup in there. That's what I see. Should the room full of people turn to that person and say, you're wrong? Obviously, you need the artist to come in and explain what it is, right? But what if the artist is dead and never titled the painting? Or, tell this person you're wrong, or try to convince. Oh, no, you're not seeing a hot dog bun with some relish, and there's no hot dog on it, and it's got a little mustard ketchup there. That's not what you're seeing. It's a chili dog. And here's why. Let me show you. But even then, if you sat there and pointed out the little chili beans, and that person still sees what they see, and they're not going to change their mind, I know I give these silly examples, but all I'm trying to do is just explain that I have figured out over this, whole time that I've been on YouTube, that there's a lot of confirmation bias that goes on, where people only want to go to your channel if you're going to say things that they want to hear. They don't... it's not about something being boring that I'm saying, or something that they're just not interested in. It's about, if I am demonstrating who I am and you disagree with that, that's fine. That's okay. That shows humanity. That's a demonstration that everyone have their own perspective and views. That's what I've been damn saying for all this time the channel's been open. No matter what I say, no matter what my perspective is, excuse me, y'all, I got to get me some coffee. No matter what it is, there's always going to be someone there that's going to disagree. It's never been about everybody's got to agree. What's that? I mean, it's about being able to express yourself and being able to know that if other people disagree and they're respectful about it, that maybe I can learn something from that. Maybe I can change my perspective on it. Or maybe I'll stay strong. There have been several people on this channel that have tried to explain things in a tactful way about why they watched this Rex and Adam thing, but and I'm like, you don't have to explain shit to me for nothing. You do what you do. I respect you. I'm not going to dishonor somebody because they don't agree with me. I mean, since when, y'all? Since when should any content, and in this case, we're looking at, a very, very devastating case where we love these family members and all of that, but since when should that drive a wedge between people because they disagree? No. No, I'll let you know. Okay. No. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, is it? Okay. The office ain't even open yet. I'll get with you. I won't be on here much longer. Okay. And Gibson says, I'm going through an investigation over my mother's death. Now I have one thought, my brother has another, so we agree to disagree. All I'm saying is this. I'm not going to be talking ad nauseum about how I feel about this other channel or nothing. It's been brought up. I get, y'all know me. I'm like I get drawn into it and I have to stop myself about it. Everybody has a right to have a channel, do whatever they want to do. But as I have said before, if you're going to put yourself out there in the public realm, whether I discern something or someone else does, they need to be willing to take it. It's just as simple as that. If people are taking it that I'm being mean-spirited, they are wrong. They have a right to feel the way they want to do, but I'm not being mean-spirited about it. It's disappointing, and it is very frustrating and aggravating to me for a lot of reasons. Right, T-Diva, I learned my lesson on that. I give a little bit of a political thing, which I'd never done before, and boy, I'll tell you what, I was reamed. And guess what? I didn't stop doing politics because, I learned my lesson. I don't want these people to say mean things to me. No, I learned my lesson that what was that going to do to be helpful for others? I had gotten off course about, I didn't think nothing of it, and I got off course with it. And I realized that I learned the lesson that whatever content, because y'all know I'm liable to do anything. I'm liable to post about my son and his work ethic, or the boat, or anything. There's all kinds of different. I do cooking. I do all kind of stuff. The bottom line is I had not received so much venom until that happened, and then I had to stop. And it wasn't about them being venomous toward me or saying mean things to me. It was about me like, hey, if these are the kind of comments, is this really me trying to do something good? Because maybe ultimately it was all about, hey, I want people to accept me, and maybe I do have my political views. I don't want them to accept what I believe politically, but just to share it, to feel like I'm free to do that, I can still do it, but it's just, it doesn't help nothing. I guess it all depends on what mean-spirited means. Because I have firmly displayed some meanness toward the hussy, to the chudster, to the motley crew of those freaked out people, and anyone else that wants to try this shit. Of course I'm going to be mean-spirited about that, and I don't care. I don't care. If I want to be mean-spirited about these damn evil serial killers, by God, I'm going to do it. If somebody wants to open up a channel and say, you know, we got to forgive them, you know, let's look at the silver linings. Let's look at the good old days. Let's look over here. Let's not look over there where you got garbage bags and freaking duct tape and a chopped up 16-year-old girl. Newsflash! In my view, the silver lining in all of this would be first and foremost God's power. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. And below that is an awareness of what these victims' family members deserve. Respect, honor, understanding. Well, Sam Willow, you're a better person than me. When you talk about, I'm Southern and get very quiet when it's important, so the other person has to really listen. I wished I was more measured. Always err on the side of caution. Sometimes it's best to stay quiet and disagree in your head, then argue in person. Lori's going to be in prison after the 31st. They're going to assign her a prison, which I believe it's going to be Pocatello. Well, have a great day, cats and dogs. And Olive Heatley, call a spade a spade. And there's a lot of times that a person can do that. But sometimes I call a spade and somebody else says, nope, that's a club. Nope, that's a diamond. That's a heart. You know, is it really all about who's right and wrong? I don't think so. Yeah, you have to, Stephanie Willow. You have to at least respect the idea of other people's views. But this goes back again to motivation, because that's a step. The view is what they're sharing. There's a reason they decided to do it, to share their view. That's a different ball game for me. Right, Donna Donald. And those times that I've had to let it out, and I've always encouraged everyone, if they want to hear any advice from me, is don't let the stuff stay inside. Get it out, because if it stays in there, it can cause depression, anxiety. Yes, I want to, in my life, be able to do that, but this goes back to what I learned. This is so funny, y'all. I had a professor in college who said, all right, everybody, How many people in this room like hamburgers? And everybody raised their hand. Everybody in the room loves hamburgers. Then he said, all right, does anybody want to share how they like their hamburger? And everybody kind of giggled. You know, these were traditional students, and here I am, a non-traditional student. Someone in the room raised their hand and said, I like onion and pickle with spicy mustard on my hamburger. And everybody kind of, some people went, ooh, and some people were like, yeah, that sounds good. And then someone else said what they liked and all this and that. So they got to this one guy, and he's like, I got to have bacon and everything on my burger. I love it. He said, I just love those big hamburgers, whatever. So the professor decided to end it by talking to this fella by saying, okay, you got this great big hamburger that's got it exactly the way you like it. You're sitting out there at the park, and you've opened up the wrapper, and it's made exactly the way you want it, and your mouth is watering, and you take your bite, and it's the best damn hamburger you've ever eaten. And someone's walking down through there, and they look at you, and they say, man, that's a good-looking hamburger. And they grab it out of his hand and takes a bite of it and hands it back. I will leave it to you to apply that to what I'm trying to say about people's motivations, their views, whether someone's right or wrong, what your perspective is. Everyone's different. There you go. I hope you'll deal with that train of thought and think about it, because I'm sure that you'll come up with something. CHP wants to hang out with Kathy. But I thought I had some tradition, Sam Willow. I thought I was a good old country girl. It's maybe a little on the ignorant side, and I'll wear that as a badge of honor. Ignorance doesn't mean I'm stupid. It means I'm willing to learn. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know something, and I need to learn it. But I always need to ask myself, why do you want to learn about this? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Krisha said that Jason just mentioned that Lori did commit federal crimes against the U.S. government, so she may serve federal time too. Well, we know the Federal Bureau of Investigation got involved because of the children. They had federal law enforcement involved in that. Honestly, Krisha, this case was tried in a state court, and she's going to be in a state prison. That's my opinion. But Jason may be right. I don't think she'll be in a federal system. I think she'll be in Pocatello. Honestly, wouldn't want her in a federal prison. I want her in Pocatello over there, in a state prison. That's where I want her. D is correct. Hopefully she doesn't go to the Fed, because Fed is much nicer. I mean, we hear all these people like Ghislaine Maxwell and other people. Was it Elizabeth Holmes, the one who defrauded all these investors over her blood drop test? They want to bitch and complain about the federal, basically, spa they're in. But the bottom line is that these state-run prisons or hell on wheels. Well, good for you, Zero. Is the cat still there? Gresha says, we don't want her doing federal time either. We want state and then Arizona and more time. F the hooker. You know where we stand. Yes. Definitely know where you stand. Y'all stand on the right side of things, and I am so proud that you were able to get out here, Gresha. You said yesterday that you've changed because of all of this. And there are a lot of things that I wish hadn't happened in terms of your trauma and the pain and the hurt that you feel about all this. But girl, you've done so much, not only in your own self-care and your family's self-care, but you've educated a lot of people, including me. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it forever, as long as I'm here on this earth. This isn't a case that you just, oh, it's done. They're both in prison. Let's just never, let's go on to something else or whatever. It's not like that for me. It's not. It never has been. Samuela, pick me up something good at the grocery store. Airmail it over here to Tennessee. I don't think I would be remiss to say that during all of this time on this channel, I have seen disputes between people that are valid when it comes to how someone's laying out the case. There are people that have come on this channel to say when I do my little skits that I'm being disrespectful. No, not to the family members. I'm not. It'd be different if I came on here dressed up like Gresha or Kay or Larry or something like that. No. I mean, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say about that damn whore. Or Chad. And with that being said, if somebody believes that, that's their own deal. What the federal government needs to do is look at these damn groups that are forming. You think this is the only one that forms? They've got so many offshoots of all this stuff. These people are nut jobs. They need to be looking at this. They need to be following the money. And how these damn groups are financing themselves. We know now that Chad and Lori wanted to finance their damn bullshit off of life insurance policies and government assistant benefits. Oh, yeah. Some of these people, not naming names, they hide behind these, I don't know what you call them. They take advantage of these governmental programs, and they suck that tit real good. They call it, bleeding the dragon. They suck it real good. But then they come out publicly against the government and about all of that. Give me a break. Hypocrisy. Y'all know it's everywhere. As many of y'all know, we haven't heard any news at all about what's going on in Mel's world. Miss Phoebe, we don't know what's going on with Zulema. We don't know what's going on with Melanie Pulaski there. They're moving on with their lives, just as Donna Donald's talking about. It's rich, isn't it? Julie Thompson, I don't know what these cult members are doing to survive and make a living. A good hypothesis would be that now that they've been duped, oh, we were so wrong. Oh, we opened the door to Jark Junk and we were just so fooled. Well, they were so fooled about that. My hypothesis is there's somebody else out here that's going to walk right up to them and start filling their head full of bullshit all over again. Next thing you know, y'all, I'm not trying to be the heavy here. I'm telling you. These people that opened their minds to that crap and knew what they did and got away with it, not only are they emboldened, but now they're opening themselves up to anything else that evil wants them to believe. And we might get another report on the 5 o'clock news. Well, Nancy, all I'm saying is my opinion. The train was leaving the station, and there were people there, high-profile people such as Nate Eaton and others, that decided to prop them up without really doing their homework. So, for people that are listening to that, they'll get whatever they're going to get out of it, but I can guarantee you this, I ain't going to be getting shit out of it because I ain't listening to it. I know better. I know better. You know, it doesn't get past me, y'all. It doesn't get past me the tone and the hurt in Summer's voice when she called Lori at the jail. I get it. It was horrifying. It was a nightmare come true for her, I'm sure. But can she not take a step back and realize that she was validating her sister to keep moving forward in all this? Not that Summer knew that this was going on. I'm just saying, I believe your mission. I'd take him out myself and all this other crap. And this transitions over into other people in that family. Make no mistake, y'all. I don't have anything bad to say about Janice being the mother, wanting to think the best of her daughter. But this is the same woman who was standing in her own house, according to Zach Cox, which I do believe in Zach Cox. It's unfortunate that his dad's the way he is. But the bottom line is he says that those words came out of their mouth loudly, that Charles had been murdered. Even if she didn't want to believe it, doesn't she want to take the time to really assess that? Because she's hearing it from another family member. Kresha, my opinion is, as some of these channels and news organizations are so big that people get to the point where they trust them. And y'all, look at me. When I opened the channel, I was listening to reporting from Nate Eaton and Justin Lum. Those were my news sources. I felt very comfortable and confident about it. But I'm learning some things as I go along now. That even if someone is a good journalist, even if somebody is really meaning well, they don't really see the slithering, venomous nature of how evil crawls into things. Y'all, the Holy Scripture talks about Satan himself presents himself as an angel of light. So beautiful. The father of lies. So people, they just make a decision that, oh, this person's been reported on this all this time, and I'm just going to believe every damn word that comes out of their mouth, or because they're going to plug someone else, I got to believe that person they're plugging. No way. Give me a break. Maybe this stems from some form of mistrust, y'all. Or maybe I've got my own mental health issues that gets paranoid or has anxiety and always on the lookout for how evil infiltrates not only people but families and friends and society as a whole. No, I don't get up every day freaking out, wondering if evil's coming for me. But I want to absolutely be cautious. Know what it is that I'm taking in. Love you, Kathy, Mama Bear. Tell Mr. Tom I said hello. That's a good point, Julie Thompson. I think Kresha has wondered this herself, why, yes, some of these news organizations would be willing, and she's done interviews on The Sun and all that, but they cut her off. Nobody wants to hear the truth, or if it's not that, these news organizations want to have this box of a narrative, this lens that they want to share with other people. Y'all, do we really want to frame our lives and how we view things and how we see things by someone else? That includes me. I wouldn't want anyone to do that because of me. I wouldn't want anyone to say, well, I go to KJ's channel and she says this is the way life is and this is what I embrace because I kind of feel the same way. That's confirmation bias. And that gets me in trouble. It gets other people in trouble. We've got to be willing to hear things. Does that mean that it would be like if I went on there and saw this channel of Rex and Adam, that it would be like nails going down a chalkboard for me? Maybe it's something I need to do, but I'm just not willing to do it. And until I figure out why, and I think I have a pretty good reason, it just don't feel right to me, y'all. And I'm talking spiritually. Because the fleshly part of me wants to click on all those videos. Wants to click on those titles that say, you can suck my D or whatever. Not that that's a reflection of what I like, but I'm just saying it's so graphic and it's so out there, or it's something that I get curious about. I'm just wondering what it's about. But I've got to back off. I've got to have some kind of restraint. I've got to be able to control myself. You know, I've got to be thoughtful in what I'm doing, no matter if it's on social media or my everyday life, walking through my life. Well, dodging bullets, good point. The point is I feel exactly the same way. Now, does that make us right? If there was a poll done on here, which I'm not going to do, I don't want to call people out like that. If you want to express something, I respect and honor that. And if someone came on here to say, no, KJ, I think they're in it for all the right reasons, am I going to sit there and argue with them? No, I have no right to do that. Who am I? I'm just an old country girl from Tennessee. Who the hell gave me the teaching position? Hey, let me grab the report card here. This person, they kind of agree with some of the things I say, but other times they're like a burr under my saddle, and the burr under my saddle is this. When people tell me things that are opposite of what I think and feel and believe, those things are actually very important to me because it makes me stop and say, yes, other people have other views. Let me look at this if I want to. Look at what they're saying. If I want to research and analyze and maybe just look at it through that lens briefly to try to figure out, talk to, meditate about it, pray about it. If it, I absolutely do care about each and every one of the comments, even if they don't line up with me. And I've told y'all time and time again that you don't have to say nice things to me, even though they're very special and I love the kindness. It's not the words, it's just, oh, this person's kind. You see, the bottom line is this. Whatever you do in your life, it's your own course to chart. It's your own journey to live. I mean, I can go down a whole laundry list of sayings, to thine own self be true, and so forth and so forth and so forth. All those things do mean something. But the good news is it means something concrete for me, and it means something concrete for others if that's what they choose. Or it could be hazy. It could be anything. That's the beauty of everyone being their own person. We can learn a lot, and folks, y'all have educated me more than I've ever been able to add to the info, And Gibson says we never stop learning. After all my mistakes, I always said it seemed like the right thing at the time. Great point, Zero. How many times have I was so sure? I was so sure that I was right about something. It wasn't about being right. It's just knowing, hey, I've got to know. And then finding out later on down the road that I was wrong. I've got to be willing to say when I'm wrong. And I have said I've been wrong many times over a lot of things that I thought would happen. Example being, I thought Lola was going to go on the stand. I was so damn sure that narcissistic hussy would go on the stand, and she didn't. Out of all the lies I've ever been told, just kidding is my favorite. Is a saying that makes me chuckle. That's good, Kresha. I'm glad you can have a sense of humor about it. I think I'm far too sensitive, and things hit me on a personal level, which brings me to this one last thing that I think has just come out in coffee time this morning. If I feel like I'm being attacked, if I feel like I'm being disrespected and stuff, isn't that just my own opinion? Isn't that just the way I'm feeling? And how much credence do I give myself on that feeling, whether it's spiritual or fleshly or mental? I think I take things too personal. And I've got to work on that, y'all. I really do. I think I take things too personal, and I think I'm far too sensitive. And if there's a way that I can handle that, maybe through cognitive behavioral therapy, or maybe it just comes down to praying and meditating. D says God loves people you don't like. It's a fact. It's the truth. And if God loves them, they can't be that bad, right? Well, let me tell you this. God loves everyone, every single person in the world, no matter what they do. God loves them all. So just because God loves everyone doesn't mean that everyone is a good person. But everyone has that possibility of turning their life over to Jesus Christ, accepting them into their heart, if in fact that's what they want to do, and becoming all over, starting anew, spiritually walking, because we know what physically walking does to us. God only knows what I've done every time I've walked. Yes, Dee. I think there's probably some insecurity in my life as well. I think that goes back to a lot of things that's happened in my childhood. Although I don't put it all on that, I am very well aware that I can be insecure. I've had low self-esteem. I think those things develop if you've got chronic depression. It also can develop through anxiety, and say you don't get enough sleep. It makes you feel a certain way, and the next thing you know, nothing you say or do is looking good at all. Sometimes it's all in our head, and sometimes people are just mean. There you go, Donna Donald. Good comment. So I don't know. I always say this at the end. I don't know what we got out of today's coffee time, but I will say this. I love you all. I hope you have a great weekend. We got a lot of things coming up. We need to keep our eyes laser focused on Difficult Research and Cresha K. She might come out with some more live streams and pre-records leading up to the sentencing. I'm pretty sure. I'm feeling good about it. But then again, y'all, I could be wrong. I love you all so much. I want you to have a great weekend. Who knows? You might see a little pre-record here and there over the weekend from OKJ. I do nothing without purpose. So with that said, have a great weekend. You keep on keeping on. And what else, y'all? Keep on looking.